Let's look at example 7, and let's remember that we're going to use the observed significance or the p-value to help us with this test. All right, so the total score in a professional basketball game is the sum of the scores of the two teams. An expert commentator claims that the average total score for NBA games is 202.5. A fan suspects that this is an overstatement and that the actual average is less than 202.5. He selects a random sample of 85 games and obtains a mean total score of 199.2 with a standard deviation 19.63. Determine at the 5% level of significance whether there is sufficient evidence in the sample to reject the expert commentator's claim. All right, so let's notice that the expert commentator is kind of the status quo. So we want our null hypothesis to involve this 202.5. And the fan thinks that the actual average is less. So we want our alternate to involve the less than 202.5. So what we're going to have here then is that mu is 202.5 for our null, and that mu is less than 202.5 for our alternate. And we were looking at a 5% level of significance, so alpha is 0.05. Now, if we use the observed significance method, we're going to go straight to our test statistic. All right, so let's do that calculation. So we're going to have our sample mean, which was 199.2. Okay, so 199.2 minus the 202.5 we have in our null hypothesis divided by our sample standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size. So let's see, our sample standard deviation, because we do not have the population standard deviation, is 19.63 and it's 85 games. So we're going to have 19.63 divided by the square root of our 85 games, and let's do those calculations. Okay, so when we subtract the top, we get negative 3.3, and when we divide out this bottom portion, we get 2.129172, and when we divide that out, we end up with negative 1 point, and if we round to 3 decimals, 5. All right. So let's now take that value and we need to look up our p-value. Now, since it's a left-tailed test, our Excel is going to give us the area to the left of this, which is exactly what we need as a left-tailed test. So all we need to do is put this in and report what we get. All right, so negative 1.55 equal norm dot s dist negative 1.55 and the word true, and we get a p-value of 0.0606 if we round it to 4 decimal places. All right, so the p-value is 0.0606. Now, recall, if the p-value is greater than alpha, we fail to reject. All right, so since we fail to reject, what does this mean in this situation? That means that we fail to reject the null, so we're sort of stuck with the null. In other words, this fan has not proven this commentator to be wrong. So there is not enough evidence, p-value equal to 0.0606, to reject the null hypothesis. There isn't sufficient evidence to support the fan's claim. At least not yet. And there we have it.